Welcome to this new how-to. In this how-to, I will show you how you can use Touch-Portal to control your airplane in Flight Simulator 2020. Touch-Portal is available in a free version and a paid version. The free version has its limitations. For example, there's a limited number of buttons which you can show on one page, and some buttons are not working. So you might consider to buy the paid version, which is $13 or roughly 14 euros. And you can do that via either the Google Play Store or via the Apple Store, which are the only two mobile devices which are supported. So once you downloaded that, you need to also install a PC component, which you can download from here. So that's I would say the main component, which can be built to also, or can be used to also build your custom dashboards. And keep in mind that there's a Java runtime installed at the same time when you install Touch-Portal. If you already have a Java version installed, it could conflict with the version being used by Touch-Portal. So if you install Touch-Portal, first remove the Java version and then let Touch-Portal install the version it really requires. Once you install both applications, there's a third component which you need, and that's the Msft Touch-Portal plugin, which is a free, I would say, add-in for Flight Simulator 2020, which you can use, or which you need to use in combination with Touch-Portal, because it had some integrations with Flight Simulator, so it makes sure that it connects correctly to Flight Simulator, and then makes sure that the buttons are available so you can build your own dashboards. But of course, there are some people already on the internet which have published some dashboards. So I'll put the links in the comment box of the video. So here's one which I tried. This one is, I would say, a global overview. So it contains a lot of buttons. It's not really aircraft specific, so you can use it for almost any aircraft. And there's this one which you can find on FlightSim.2, which is built by F. Grote. That one is specifically built for the A320neo and the CG4 working title one. I've tested both and they're working. However, there are some things you might need to change based on the key mapping you configured in your system. So let's go back to Touch-Portal. There's one thing which I need to make you aware of, and that's you need to configure a firewall rule. So I will show you how to do that. So you can go to the Windows Defender Advanced Windows Defender Firewall with Advanced Security, a lot of words. And then you can go to the right side. You can select New Rule. And then we need to select where it opened the new rule. Here it is. You can select program or port. So I selected program, and then you can browse to the program x86 Touch-Portal, and then you need to select the Touch-Portal exe file. You press next. You say allow connection. Based on where your machine is located, you can specify the profiles, but I definitely would recommend to uncheck public and only allow traffic from domain or private. Hit next, specify a name, and then hit finish. I already created the rule, so I can only click cancel here. And I'm gonna switch to Touch-Portal. When you open Touch-Portal, it first gives you some intros about what's available, what kind of things you can have, but I will not show them. So the first thing you need to do is you need to import the add-on. And the add-on, or plugin as they call it, can be installed by pressing the option here and then say import plugin. Once you selected that option, you need to go to the directory where you downloaded the plugin. So in my case, that's, let me find it. Here it is, MSFS Touch-Portal plugin, version 052.tpp. I will put a link in the description of the video. You select it, then it says, okay, successfully imported it. And then there's one important thing: you need to close Touch-Portal and reopen it. So we'll do that. If you didn't install it earlier, which I of course did because I did some testing with it, it will give you a warning and say, okay, what do you want me to do with the plugin? Should I always trust it, or should I only trust it once? I select to always trust it because I don't want to have that pop up each time I start up the program. So the second thing is that you can import the templates, and the templates can be imported by pressing manage and then import page. Again, that will bring us to the Explorer window, and from here I can select the pages that I want to import. So for example, the A320 Neo, it says again I successfully imported it, so I'm gonna press OK. And then when you look at the top window, it has changed now to A32NX, and it still has the main one. So there's one important thing which you need to keep in mind, is that the main one is always the first page which will be shown on the device. That can cause some issues because, as you can see from here, we can't go to the A32NX add-on. So what you need to do is you need to add a button. That can be done by pressing an empty room. Then we'll again show you a lot of information. So we're gonna simply click next, finish. And then from the left side, you can select navigation, go to page. And on the go to page, in the drop down menu, you can select the A32NX add-on. And then you can specify some text. So I will specify A32NX and then hit save. And when I zoom out, you can see the A32NX has been added here. So if you like, you can remove the default buttons, right? So I'm gonna do that as we speak. So I'm gonna delete this button. Delete this one, delete this one, and delete the other one. I'm gonna move it to there. You can simply drag and drop, and I'm gonna import another one. So I'm gonna zoom in, import the page, import the CG4, so that's also fine, and I'm also gonna import the other one, which we discussed. And then we need to import the landscape one. There are several other ones which you can import, right? So keep that in mind. So as you can see, this one is also pretty neat. So let's go back to the main page because we need to add the other ones also. So we're gonna add the CG4, put some text in it, and you can change the coloring if you want. And then we're gonna also add the last one, which is this one, and then I will call it MSFS just for generic, and then we're ready. So as you can see, I already connected my iPad, right? So that's good. So what you need to keep in mind is that once you publish this, you really need to connect your device, because you can't control the buttons from here, right? So I can press it, but it will simply open the window. It will not, or simply open the action, I should say, but it does not really perform the action. So let's switch over to the iPad in this case. And as you can see, the iPad, let me make sure that I also see it. The iPad has already loaded it, but it's still the old version because I was playing around with it, and I can select one of the buttons. So for example, if I go to the A32NX one, it opens the A32NX page, and from there I can control the airplane. So what you can do here is manage the HC, manage the views, manage the lights, the systems, and the speed brakes, flaps, and sim rate. And there's one important button, which is the back button, because you always need to have a button on your dashboard which brings you back to the, let's say, previous window. Same thing is for the CG4. So you see some changes here. And the MSFT one, this one is a little bit, I would say, more expanded, but there are several ones which are even more expanded, which have multiple pages on it, right? So for example, they've got one main page, and from that page you can jump into another one and then into another one again. There's something which you need to be aware of, is that in some cases, for example like the A32NX, some buttons will not work, and that's due to the fact that the developer of this template has modified the default key bindings in Flight Simulator. So you might need to adjust the buttons by going into Touch Panel and modify, or Touch Portal I should say, and then modify those buttons. So I can show you how to do that. So let me go back. So for example, when I'm at the A32NX and I want to change the, for example, parking brake, what you can do is you can double click on this, you can press clear all and then press the correct key combination. So for example, if my parking brake is Control, or I think it's just Shift P by default. Shift P, once you did that, you can select add, and then you need to press save, and then it has updated the key binding. So you don't need to reconnect the tablet. There's a refresh button on it, and you can refresh it, and then it should work. So let's go to a Flight Simulator and let me show you some things. So let me do that as we speak. I'm gonna minimize this window, then jump to Flight Simulator. So as you can see, the aircraft is already located. It's located at Los Angeles Airport. It's completely shut down, so that's nice. So what we can do is we can go inside the aircraft and then we can do a few things. Keep in mind that I installed the A32NX add-on because that's the most, I would say, valuable resource there currently is. Because it adds a lot of stuff to the default dashboard. That's a lot of functionality. So to show you what you can do with the, I would say with the iPad or with the touch panel, I will press some buttons, and believe me, on my heart, I will show them to you. So what I can do is I can, for example, remove the parking brakes, or can switch on the external power, or switch on the flight director or the lights. So let me press the strobe button. And you can see if I press the button, it will go up and down. And same thing I can do for the beacons and all the other lights. Flaps, it's the same. So if we go outside the aircraft, then zoom look up a little bit here. Then when I would press the flaps, of course depends on if the aircraft is already started, and in our case it's not done, so it won't move, right? So we probably need to start the engine first. And that's something you can all do using the different buttons, right? So you can create, I would say, one basic dashboard and then build all kind of additional ones which will make it easier to control the aircraft by simply using your tablet, which I think is a great addition if you're playing Flight Simulator a lot. So here ends this video. I hope you liked it. If you liked it, then consider to use the like button. If you've got questions or comments, then use the comment box below the video. And if you want to stay up to date about new videos I'm posting, then consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching and see you next time.